Hello, everybody. I think now we are having total 13 attendees. Okay. You also have to parallelly input your attendance into the Google Sheet shared with you by your class teacher. Okay, for the third year computer for all subjects. As your attendance is there on the this WebEx thing, but due to some technical glitch, WebEx is right now unable to create your attendance correctly. But we are recording the sessions, so uh, anyway, your names will be visible there on the attendance. For example, here I am having this all the name Tejas Gaikwad, Tejasvi Kashyap, Yukta Kolte. Okay, I think Vaishnavi Kade's problem is solved. Manjusri madam told me that she wasn't getting any login into the system. Total 118 registrations are done till date. Uh, but as per our roll call list, there must have to be at least 135 registrations other than the invited people. So, so today we are going to see this lecture. Today's date is 30th June 2020, and we are going to see the last lecture on the first unit of software engineering. This We are going to see the agile software development process, which is generally called as agile software development process, which is generally called as what we call as extreme programming and other. So we are going to see those agile software development process. So I'm sharing my application for the view, but right now only 17 students are there in the attendance list. Sachin Gunja, Subhadra Kumari, and Swapnil Pal simply log in into the system, and they are now not giving much attention. Means they minimize either the window or they are opening some other window. Okay. So your thing is there. Roll call list. I know that's right now. I'm having 19 students. Abhishek Jadhav, Ajinkya Marudkar, Bamya Swami, Gaurav Mahajan, Komal Gaikwad, Mansi Garad, and likewise. And so I'm not going to take an attendance here because I'm getting all this list in the list of attendees. Okay, so from this I can say it's okay that I'm getting the count. So with time is made compulsory. That is because the Webex actually count your attendance only if you remain present for the entire meeting, or if the meeting is abruptly closed by either the host, means anyone who is taking your lecture, or by some network problem. Okay, so be careful when you log in into the WebEx. Don't leave the session in between. Okay, and if you are having any questions and something, you can raise your questions and answer questions in this question answer thing, so that we can go for question answer at the end of the session. And tomorrow we are going to conduct, instead of having what can say a lecture on the second unit, on the first unit we are going to conduct a small what you can say online test. Okay, so and a discussion like something, so interactive session. For tomorrow's meeting, you all will you have to raise the hand and have to discuss with me in just like a video conferencing. Okay, so shall I start the lecture? If I think it's yes, you can raise the hand. If it is yes, you can raise the hand. Okay, thank you. So start with the lecture. From we have the total 24 attendees right now, and I'm sharing this presentation. These presentations are already uploaded on your Google Classroom. with all the books from where I actually you can say extracted these contents and created this presentation. So we will start. So it is a list of participants. Now 30 participants are there. So means just checking for this, and we are starting with the uh, presentation, software engineering, extreme programming. So be with me, guys, because this is the information is seems to be very theoretical if you are not practicing the extreme programming. I would like to explain the concept, but the thing is that agile software development is uh, understandable only through practice. So these PPTs I created, or this presentation, not PPTs, Beamer presentation in LaTeX is created in 2019 for the last year's back, and because there is no much changes in the basic principles, so these PPTs are or these presentations are kept as they are. Okay, without any modification, nothing new is added into it. This is a pure what you can say basis principle of extreme programming, or what we call as an agile software development. So what is the today's objective? This lecture layout is that young the objectives, then human factors in the computer software engineering, then extreme programming. What exactly mean by the extreme programming or XP process, which is called as a technically, and then we are going to see the with other agile process models, which Scrum and other things, which are actually beyond syllabus part of your first unit. Because why beyond syllabus part? Because it is not included in your syllabus. So, what are the objectives of today's lecture? Obviously, so we are going with the objectives. So first we are going to learn the human factors. Second, we are going to learn the technical things, that is extreme programming. Why human factor? Because your software is a product, and when we say is a product, it is sellable, and you know that is dogs, cats, sheep, okay, donkeys, monkeys, elephants, or camels. They won't buy any product. Though all those are the animals, only human beings are there who produces some product, manufactures some product, and sell it to someone, some other human being. Human being may buy the products for their pet, but animals don't. So we require to first consider the human factors which affects the software engineering practices, without which software engineering learning is incomplete. So these are our objectives for today's thing. So what is human factor? So when we say agile software development or agile software engineering or simply agile engineering practices also is required to have something in this agility, and that is called as what? The human factors. Because we as a software engineer creates the product, the business owner as the industrialist sell that product, and the customers will buy that product, and end user will be will use that product. A customer and end user may be two different things. Okay, for example, let's say suppose right now we are using the WebEx. So who is the customer for this WebEx online tutorial? Is our college. But who is the end user? You and me. Okay, so obviously you and me are the end user for this WebEx, while the customer is different. Okay, and the business is Cisco. The developers are different. So if you go with these things, so agile development and all software engineering practices focuses on that in human factors, the talents and skills of individuals. Now you know that is if you don't know how to program, if you don't know how to create a good software, or we don't know even how to write good documentation for already created software, or you don't know these talents. There are different type of talents. It is not necessary that every person have to have all the talents. You may be very good in one thing, you may not be very good in another thing. So you have to sharpen those skills which in which you are very good, and that is called as talents and skills of individuals. So it's not your mark sheet or something. The agile development actually consider your talent. For example, let's say suppose on paper you are having 90% marks, okay, but in practice you are not able to write down a single line of code, then it is not what you can say desirable by any software engineering. Today the attendee count is very less, it's only 48. uh, Ask your friends to log in as early as possible. Okay, so now we'll go with the second, molding the process to specific people and team. Now, what is molding the process to specific people and team? Just consider that you are creating one software to serve the say all students living in Pune. Okay, right now we are having the COVID situation, and consider even in this COVID situation, there are few students which are living in Pune, far from their hometown, in some hostels or in some apartments, and they are not having sufficient, what you can say, uh, sufficient facilities at their stay to prepare their food. So you created a software which can allow such students to place an order to you. Okay. Now one student want chicken masala, another student want palak paneer. Okay. Then another students want gulab jamun. Say is from Bengal. Another student want makke di roti in sarson da saag say from Punjab. Some students want idli and say from south. Then you require to mold the process accordingly. According to those specific people, you have to create that particular dish. But now this dish is created, this dish is ordered by that particular person. Okay, but you have to deliver that to the things. So you require a team also to deliver and something. Say suppose you are having a delivery boy who would need to deliver say 50 meals to the people. Okay, now 50 meals to the people, and you given the 50 meals like 2 meals in Wagoli, 3 meals in Hadapsar, 4 meals in Chinswad, 5 meals in Manjri, 6 meals in this. That boy, delivery boy, will commit something horrendous in that case. He may leave the job simply. Yeah, because you are actually asking him to do too much work. So when we say molding the process to specific, means you have to give the delivery boy. So okay, delivery boy is in Wagoli, so you can say from his one say pickup center, Wagoli pickup center, he can cover the entire Wagoli zone, 2 to 3 kilometers, whatever. And so the delivery boy can deliver those what you can say tiffins to the particular students. So that is what we call as molding the process to specific people and teams. Okay, so as per the requirement, or as per what you can say each other's individual needs, you require to mold the software, even the software development process also. For example, let's say suppose two persons are there and they hate to each other unnecessarily. This happens. Two persons may hate each other unnecessarily, and they may love each other unnecessarily. The hate at first sight, what you can say, and they are in your team. You have to keep them apart so that their hatred can affect the entire software development process. Or you also have to keep apart some lovebirds, because that also can going to affect the entire things. So when we say molding the process, you have to consider that also. So molding the process to specific people and teams, that is what the second point of the agile development. Third is that what we can say the key point is the process molds to the needs of the people and team, and not the other way around. Means if say suppose you want to deliver a product, make some consider that Decathlon, you want to buy a shoe, and your feet fit to the shoes of 43 American number, international 9 India number. Okay, and they deliver you 7 number shoes. Will it work? No. So that is what this is. That is, you have to mold entire process according to your people or the human factors, because they are the developers, they are the buyers, and they are the marketers. Okay, so you have to be very careful when it comes to thing. But you know that people means you and me, all we are. Okay, we all are full with ego. Ego is what we call as an exaggerated self-esteem or self-identity. Exaggerated means you consider yourself brilliant than every other person. Then it is called as a egoism. Okay, you consider yourself powerful than every other person is a egoism. You unnecessarily consider you as a king or queen of your class. That is a ego. So what you can say, exaggerated or unnecessary thing, that is ego is there every person. Okay, no one is exception here. You also have some ego, I also have some ego, and we require to what you can say, cuddle this ego. We require to actually manage this ego in such a way that nobody must have to be get hurt. Okay, or nobody's ego must have to be get hurt while working. So for that purpose you always require to use some mild language. Okay, there may arise some situations where you require to scold the person, where you require to fire the person, but do it in a way where his ego must not have to be get hurt, because once person's ego get hurt, that person becomes most dangerous to himself as well as his surroundings. Okay, so do not hurt the ego. So people means ego plus selfishness. Yeah, we all are selfish. You and me do not want to have success for other people. We always right to become what you can say successful. And when we say successful means what? You actually want to surpass someone. Instead of surpassing yourself or your qualities, we always go with a comparison, and that is called as selfishness. Okay, so you want to have all resources, you want to have all riches, you want to have all those things. So people, you and me all are included, are have egos, selfishness. Okay, then we are have the differences. Say suppose I said one thing, you may say that is okay. Means right now if you hear you are on total 62 attendees, out of this 62, maybe 40 will say okay, sir is saying that is okay, but rest will say sir there is one problem, like that. So you may raise the problem, you may raise the questions, and like, so we always contradict with each other, or we always have some differences. So and there are many other human qualities are there. So all those human qualities which are not actually the part of your coding, which is not actually the part of your software, which is not actually the part of any engineering, is actually the basis of all those things. Okay, so people are the basis of agile development. And people means ego, and you require to handle that ego, selfishness, and likewise. And we always like to you can say get more, and to get more, every person, you, me, anyone, we always do some politics. Okay, we always try to cheat someone, or we always try to make a situation favorable to us, and that is called as politics. And there are many things. So when we say agile development, the third point that we require to consider about the people. So what are the affecting factors, human factors in a agile development? First is the competence. Competition and competence are two different things. Competition is something where you want to what you can say supersede someone. Okay, either by hook or crook, means either by doing some extra work, or improving yourself, or by damaging that person. That is called as competition. And I'm not talking here about the competition, the competence. Competence is our own capacity, or it's our own what you can say skill, with which we can excel in our own working. So there is no competition with any other. Competition is with ourselves only. So the affecting human factor is the competence. A competent person generally won't won't have time to you can say nurture his or her ego, because they are so competent that they are quite busy in their uh, work. Then common focus means generally software are not developed by a single person. A team is there always who develop the software, and this team required to have the common goal or vision. So even if means it's just like that is when you are driving a car, or when you are driving your bicycle, or when you are driving your motor vehicle. Okay, all small apparatus in it, or a small part of those vehicle or that machine are working, okay, in what you can say synchrony towards a common goal, and that is called as common focus. So a team should have to have a common focus. uh, that is a third point is collaboration means never consider yourself as a brilliant person, okay, or you can say out of the box very genius person. uh, Always try to take the advice, or at least what we call as a you can say a review from your friend, even from your enemy also. So collaboration means to work with other, okay, to work with other in easiest way. So you require to be very collaborative. If you again consider this collaboration, so here I think, for example, right now we are doing this in collaboration. uh, say some people's are simply they are having exclamatory mark before them. They haven't means given any attention. Either they have minimized the windows. Sakshi Hole, Sakshi Singh, okay, Samir Singh, Rohan Pawar, these peoples are there. There are many other peoples I'm not okay. Now and then I will announce few persons who are not giving any attention. Okay, that not giving the attention means they are not collaborating properly with the class. The class is a team, and it's a collaborative work. I can't teach to an empty class. You can't get teaching from a class without a mentor. Yes, so that is what we call collaboration. So right now we are collaborating with them. Then decision making ability. So one thing always keep in your mind, in you, even in your life also, just not for the software engineering. This is a very general discussion in agile development process. It says that there must have to be decision making ability in every individual. An individual must have to have that ability. If the individual is not having that ability, uh, सो मीन्स तुमच्यापैकी ज्या लोकांना मराठी समजतं त्यांना समजल. एखादा माणूस असतो त्याला आपण सांगकाम्या म्हणतो. म्हणजे जेवढं सांगितलं तेवढंच काम करतो तो, त्याच्याकडे स्वतःची अशी निर्णय क्षमताच नसते. Okay, so those peoples are there. So if you are won't have the decision making ability, and if your team leaders say that you have to design and develop these are things, you will every now and then go to your team leader and will ask him, sir, what should I do now? Sir, what should I do now? For example, let's say suppose if I ask you people that tomorrow you have to create a small presentation on software engineering. Okay, right now today, and you have to record its video presentation video, your video, and I'm going to combine all your videos and I'm going to upload it on my YouTube channel. Last batch machine learning presentation I uploaded on the YouTube channel, student presentation, just like that. Okay, I told you these things. Just consider, I'm not right now I'm asking you this. If I really want to ask this legitimately, I will notify you on the Google Classroom or on WhatsApp group. So in that case it's up to you how to design that. Okay, that decision making ability must have to be in you. So if someone asks you to design and develop a software, for certain parts you should have to take that particular decisions, and that decision making ability is the human factor which actually uh, affects the entire software engineering development process, or agile software engineering development process. The fifth is fuzzy problem solving ability. What is fuzzy problem solving ability? Generally, when we learn the mathematics, it says that 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. But when it comes to doing something like say you are having 100 birds on a tree, and if you fire at them, how many bird and one bird die by your firing, how many birds will remain on the tree? The simple mathematics say 100 minus 1 is equal to 99. But in reality, what happened? Due to the sound of gun, okay, or firing sound, all the 99 will what you can say flew away from that particular tree, and so one died, 99 left, zero on tree. This is the simple thing. So that is what we call as a fuzzy. Means in real life you may get the situation where answers are not known, okay, or where it may be the thing that even if you are having the answer, those answers may not satisfy the what you can say the needs, and in such cases you require to have the ability to solve such fuzzy problems. Means हम हिंदी में उसको जुगाड़ बोलते हैं. Okay, so at the 11th time you should have to have some ability to create something, and those abilities, fuzzy problem solving ability, also affect the entire software engineering development process. These are the human qualities. These have nothing to do with actual software engineering. Okay, but these are the basis of even for the successful life. You require competition competence, you require common focus, you require collaborative mindset, you require decision making ability, you require fuzzy problem solving, and you also require the mutual trust and respect. You should have to respect your friends, your colleagues. You also have to respect your enemy, okay, because if you won't have that one person who is not competing with you, you can't excel in your field. Okay, there must have to be have a good competition, and so you must have to have mutual trust and respect about each other. Means a teacher must have to have, and a student must have to have this mutual trust and like. So this is what you can say affecting human factors in software engineering development. That is, if they are not having this, and very difficult uh, to master skill or human factor is self organization or self discipline. Everybody everybody in this group knows that is waking early in the morning, then doing exercise, then eating good food, and doing regular study will make them healthy, wealthy, and happy. But none of us, I'm including myself, okay, we are not following this regularly. Okay, sometime we wake up early in the morning 4 o'clock, sometime we wake up early in the morning 5 o'clock, and sometime or for the entire month we simply won't wake up till the 10 o'clock morning. Okay, and so we are not self organized or disciplined, and that self organized or discipline or the seventh factor is the crucial factor in development, because many time a person who is a self organized, very self disciplined, even if he progress slowly, he progress steadily and continuously, and at some time he will reach to the ladder where you can say that he is the successful person. Okay, or he actually develop something like that. So self organization, take an example of ant, a very small creature, so self organized and so self disciplined that she can build a complete ant hill which is far larger than her size. Okay, so that is what we call as self discipline or self organization must have to be in the person. Okay, so now we go with the extreme programming. XP is most widely used approach. This is a technical thing in agile software development. Why it is called as extreme programming? Because as per the Beck's definition, who give this definition in 2004, defines a set of 5 values that establishes the foundation for this extreme programming or XP. And first is the communication. You require to be very collaborative. You require to be very communicative. Your communication actually decides what you are going to get. For example, races right now, if we conduct an interview for a placement, okay, so how that HR will hire you based on your skill or based on your communication. So first thing that sorting out happens based on certain skills, but then your hiring is actually happens only based on your communication. Okay, so it's not something, it's a very crucial part of our life. If we fail to communicate, okay, we fail to communicate, we can say loss many win-win situations. So communication is the first factor. Second is simplicity. Always be simple, don't be flashy or something. That means that even if you come right now, we have seen a different type of presentation styles in this presentation of software engineering. Today I use something which is a bit flashy. Okay, so now it is looking good, but afterwards the effect is not that good. Okay, so he required to have the communication, then the simplicity. Third is the feedback. Now this feedback, there are two type of feedback. One, the feedback coming from other, the which is generally biased feedback. Okay, feedback coming from other is generally biased feedback. Let's say suppose right now when I'm telling you that these people who are not giving the attention to this lecture, okay, and this showing the exclamatory mark here. For example, Abhishek Mishra is getting the exclamatory mark, means he either have close his windows or minimize it or giving attention somewhere else. And other people are there, Monica Shelar, Nomesh Saror, and likewise. So if now I have taken the name of these people, I have spoken the name, and these people may consider while giving the feedback, okay, sir is scolding us, so why to give the good feedback? Okay, so this type of thing may happen. I'm not blaming. You can give the good or bad feedback. That is not. I am trying to teach you that you must have to get the essence of what is feedback. The feedback coming from other people, feedback coming from market, feedback coming from your stakeholders, feedback coming from everybody else. That other feedback is there. There is another feedback which is called as self feedback. Now what is self feedback? Let's say suppose today you design and develop one model, okay, without any errors. So you have to self analyze it. It's called as SWOT. Okay, SWOT means strength, opportunity, weaknesses, and threat analysis of self. And that self feedback is very, very important in this self feedback system. A person should have to analyze himself or herself before getting analyzed by someone else. Okay, so courage. Now, courage doesn't mean that you require to have a very, you can say, good health and something like this. And if lion comes, you have to stand before him. That is not courage. Okay, what is courage? Courage is doing those things which are necessary, but you don't want to do in general fashion. For example, waking early in the morning, सुबह सुबह जल्दी उठना, वो भी बिस्तर से बाहर निकलना, you require a tremendous courage for that. Many people won't have that courage, so they go early into bed and they wake up very late from the bed. That is what you can say. Not having the self discipline is called as non courageous person in extreme programming or agile or in a general term. So you require to have courage to do those things which are necessary, but you generally won't like. For example, if someone asks you to eat a few neem leaves every alternate day, okay, then you will not go for eating that, okay, because you require some courage to eat regularly. आपको if you someone asks you to eat say drink a glass of milk regularly, okay, many people won't do that because we are not having the discipline or courage to follow the routine. Yeah, and that is what they say courage, because software development require you to sit on a chair at least for 18 hours a day daily. Okay, if you want to create a really good software, and to sit regularly and to give your time and everything to that particular product, to design and develop that particular product, you require a very self discipline and a courage. So when we say courage means doing things continuously even if you dislike them. Okay, even if you dislike them, you are doing the things. That is what is courage. Right now we are in the COVID-19. The people who are working, they are actually risking their life, but and against this COVID, fighting this. They are risking their life and they are courageous people. You won't require to be fighter for that. Courage means self discipline. Okay, so here you require to have the courage. Then you require to be responsible or a respect. You have to have the respect for the people. Okay, so respect here just not for the people. You also have to have the respect for yourself and the work in your hand. So for example, say suppose if you are not having the respect for your work, means if I am not having the if consider just a person like me who is in a teaching job, if he is not having respect for his own job or for her own job, will not prepare well. Okay, so respect is something. You have to have the respect for your job. You have to respect for your self respect is always there. You have to have the respect for your teammates. You have to have the respect for your family, everyone. Even you have to respect your enemy. That is what they say. So communication, simplicity, feedback, courage. When I am saying enemy here, your competition. Okay, and the respect for them is very very essential and crucial in this thing. So uh, these values, uh, okay, these are the actually the driving values for the extreme programming. And they are requires, again we have learned these activities. After activities we are having the actions and tasks. Okay, so this we have seen in the generic process that we require how to activities actually get divided into actions, and actions are nothing but the set of tasks. Okay, so these things are there. So extreme programming, this emphasizes close yet informal or verbal collaboration between customers, developers, and many other stakeholders. And this actually avoid voluminous documentation for the communication. But this doesn't mean that you won't have to have the documentation. What happens, these communications are generally get recorded for further references instead of making the documentation out of it at the instant only. So those are the informal and verbal communications. Now what is extreme programming? It's achieve simplicity. Extreme programming restricts developer to design only for immediate needs. Okay, so when we go for the extreme programming, you are not considering 10 years after what will, or 5 years thing. You are considering now what is the market requirement. For example, right now what is the market requirement? We require an online communication application just like Webex and something which is India made, and you can say also serving from India. And if you people 68 people right now from the TUI, okay, but there are a total 135. If 135 brains started working for it, you can create a very good example, okay, which can surpass the Zoom or Webex, Cisco Webex and something. But it's again require dedication, devotion, and discipline, which is together called as a courage. Okay, so it achieves simplicity. It's actually consider what is the market demand, current market demand, and based on that, it goes on continue. And there is a continuous feedback in this extreme programming from the three sources. First is the software itself. If whenever an end user or customer uses the software, they will give the feedback, which is called part of the beta testing. The feedback customer feedback is not about the software itself. Customer feedback is something which is about usage. So implemented software is technical feedback we are getting from the users, that is these are the errors and likewise. And other software team members. So who are the other software team members? Software developers, software financer, government, all these are actually the software team members. So whatever the feedback coming from them, that continuous feedback required to be monitored for extreme software development process. Now this XP or extreme programming makes use of the unit test. So first as a primary testing, so every module in a software is called as a unit. For example, if you create a menu driven program, then the file menu is one unit, edit menu is one unit, workspace is one unit. And once this unit is created, it is first tested, then two units are tested for integration, and then it causes you can say combined to create the software. So increment is always delivered to the customer. That is, softwares are delivered in terms of increments or versions to the customers, and not the complete software get delivered to the customer. So every now and then, Extreme Programming says that you have to update the existing software with the new patch and new, you can say, amendments. So this is extreme programming. Then what are the new requirements? The new requirements in the extreme programming are derived as a part of iterative planning. Okay. So when we say new, what is the part of iterative planning? New requirements are generally derived as part of iterative planning in here, uh, because uh, just a minute. Uh, okay. So planning. Okay. So because these new requirements actually help you in enhancing your products. Okay. And so the customer acceptance of your product will increase. And so these new requirements are considered. Then agile XP team must have strict adherence to discipline. Strict adherence to discipline is considered as a courage. Okay. Means if we settled, say suppose a class tomorrow early in the morning, or today late in the night, then at that time we require to be present for that particular class without fail, and that is called as strict adherence, or what we generally call as extreme programming requires military discipline. Yes, that is what we call as an courage. So if you follow these XP values, agile team inculcates respect among its members. Obviously, a self-disciplined person always get respect from all his team members and other people and something. So this is the XP process. You are first doing the planning. What planning includes? User stories or use cases, values, acceptance test criteria, and iteration plans. So you have to go all through this. User will tell his story or his problem statement, and what are the values are necessary. You have to create a basic model for that, and you have to go for show that to the user for the acceptance. Once user accepts your design, a primary design, you are creating a iteration plan to implement that design. Now comes the actual design. Here you are having a simple design with these CRC cards, and you can go for the spike solution prototypes. Okay. Then after design, once these designs are completed, you go for the coding. Refactoring is there in coding. Pair programming is there. Means no program is developed by a single person. Every module of your program of your software is developed by at least two-person. That's why it's called as a pair programming. Then once that module is completed, you have to go for the test. Unit test is the first basic testing. Then you have to go for the integration testing, so continuous integration is there. Then you have to go for the acceptance testing. The user, just like your plan, must require to accept your tested software. Then and then only you can release it for the deployment. So this is the complete XP process that we are having. So what is planning? It's a requirement gathering activity. To plan, you require to listen to the customer stories. You require, what are the stories? It's required, what stories actually gives you? It's required output, features, functionality for software to be built. For example, let's say suppose I am your customer, and if you come to me and I said that I want a software which can give me, or you can say, ability to create all the accountings of my income. So what you got? My story. What my story says, all the accountings of the income. So you have to find out all type of income sources, then how the accounting can be done, what are the taxes there, what liabilities, and you get all what outputs are required, what are the features required, and functionality of your software. So you know that is you are the person, the customer is, you are actually asking you an accounting software which can keep accounts of all his transactional things, and then can help the person in paying taxes or in filling taxation forms and likewise. So that is what we can call as a stories. Value. Customer assigns a priority to the story based on overall business value. Every customer requires two type of needs. One is called as immediate need, means you want that right now, and other is you can wait for a while. For example, let's say suppose you are thirsty, you want water. So how you want that? Right now. But you are already drank some water, and now you want to drink the another, you can say, sip of water. What will you say? Okay, I will drink it afterwards, after hour or 1 hour, and likewise. So that is what you can say value. So the immediate requirement of customer are called as the value. And cost. So whenever you design and develop something, there is a cost involved. For example, let's say suppose if you want to create an accounting software, okay, what are the requirements? You require license, CA license, yes, or CA license for validating your accounting software. Then you require government permissions as a software industry. Then you require a laptop which may cost from 30,000 to few lakh rupees based on your you can say investment. Then you require an office. Okay, laptop require the electricity power. In office you require a person who can clean that office and maintain the office. Then you require a T-boy. Then you require a programmer. If you are a programmer, so okay, but you require a programmer. And all these persons who are working for you require salary. And you require some money to pay this salary, so you require a banker. And likewise, so when you calculate all those things, you know what that story actually cost. Creating an accounting software may cost you in lakhs, okay, and you require to make some profit from it. So that is what we call as a cost. So it's measured in development weeks to each story and in terms of money also, because it require a time. That is a development week. But more time means you are spending more money on the resources. So these are the thing. Then planning also require commitment officer, because if you fail to complete the things within a time, okay, or if you are not committed to your studies, or say for your to your project or anything, I'm not just saying for the bookish studies. If you are not Abhishek Jadhav and Abhishek Patil minimize their windows. Why? I don't know. But if you're not giving the say concentration commitment to your work, what will happen? You know Newton's third law. If you are not committed to a relationship, what will happen? The other person also not get committed to the relationship. And our work, our job, our studies are just like other person. If you are committed to our studies or our work, we will do that work very lovingly, affectionately, and on a daily basis, regularly. What will happen? We'll try to understand the subject very fluently, yeah, and then it will become very easy to pass any exam, or it will become very easy to apply that knowledge in real life. So the commitment is there, which is required in software engineering XP process. Then project velocity. Project of the speed of the project development counts. So it helps to estimate delivery dates, should have to be estimated in a delivery dates. For example, right now we are on the 30 sessions thing, and in these 30 sessions we are going to deliver the entire syllabus, if we including beyond syllabus part. Then determine whether an over commitment has been made for all stories. Over commitment can cause what you can say more cost. Okay, so there must have to be something. So what XP design follows? It rigorously follows the KISS principle, keep it simple and stupid principle of software engineering. Then its simple design is always preferred. It won't go for the complex design. User interface must have to be very, very simple so that even a no-eyes can use it. The design provides implementation guidance for a story as it is written, nothing less, nothing more. Okay, then it must have to design extra functionality is discouraged. Okay, so whatever the market demand, you require to satisfy that first. Do not go for unnecessary complexity. That is what is called as extra functionality. Then CRC, class responsibility collaborator, must have to be there. These cards are used to identify and organize the object oriented classes so that proper integration of these classes or functions can be done. So this is the design of the XP process. Now, in a complex story, spike solution is used. What is spike solution? Spike means that is you are working in a smooth line and suddenly you require to do some extra work. So that is what you can say spike solution. So if the complex design is there, you may require to concentrate on a particular part a little bit more. Then also it encourages refactoring because XP says that it is difficult to predict. So with changing marketing demand, you may need to adjust or you can say optimize your software. So because this XP design uses virtually no notations or produces few, so Prover products other than this collaborative classes cards and Spike solution design is viewed as a transient artifact. So it is considered as the product of continuous workout. Okay, so this is extreme programming. Central notion in XP is that design occurs both before and after coding commences. So design actually is a completely cyclical. It goes on continuously. What is coding? Once your design is completed based on the stories, you are required to consider these things like okay. Once this code is completed, it can be unit tested immediately. Then pair programming. uh, XP says that a single person design coding is not allowed. One person coding is not allowed. At least two-person must have to be there involved in coding a module. So it's a pair programming. So if you are on a team, whenever you are coding, at least two-person must have to be involved in that programming. That is what the XP says. Okay, so this actually helps in real time problem solving and also assures the quality. For example, if you are running the two persons, they always differs on some point, and so they can make that program more, you can say, efficient. Testing is there. So first you are required to go for the unit test. Second, you when you are using the pair programmings, you require for the continuous integration of different units. Okay, then you require to have the smoke testing environment that helps to uncover errors early, which is called as alpha testing. Means before launching your software into the market, you require to test that software in a control environment, and that is called as a smoke testing for its performance. Now, encourages regression testing. Okay, when your code is modified, so when your code is modified, when you are doing some testing or retesting of that particular unit, that is called as regression. Then XP's acceptance testing is there. These are the customer tests. Means software is actually given to the customer with the all functionality feature, and customer try to use that software at their end. Okay, so industrial XP is another thing. I'm not going in detail with the industrial XP. Is this beyond syllabus part of your thing? First thing is that is industrial XP. Industry is there. So whenever you are in the industry, you have the stakeholders. So what are the stakeholders? The equity holders, the financiers, the managers, everyone who are involved in that particular industry. Whenever you set an industry, from legal to illegal, all entities. Okay, so those are the stakeholders. Then you may require to have some quality programs. You have to have an organizational culture because that also decides what type of project you are going to fill. For example, Infosys organizational culture and some small companies organizational culture, it differs, and based on that they go with the progress. So broader project community, then project community, the right people we use to populate the agile team to ensure success. Obviously, the people who are in love with their work. I'm telling this as agile or industrial XP process. People who are in love with their work means if you really like your work. वो आपने एक पिक्चर देखी होगी, थ्री इडियट्स. अबे तुझे जो बनना है, फोटोग्राफर बनना है, तो इंजीनियर बनने चला है, तू ना तो अच्छा फोटोग्राफर बन पाएगा ना ही अच्छा इंजीनियर, बिकॉज you are not liking that something. So when you say right people doesn't mean that those people are intelligent people. That simply means the people like the job very much and they are really courageous or strict self-discipline to do that work. So project community is the right people we use to populate this agile team. Do not use a person who don't like that particular job to do that job. He will not do that job in a correct way. For example, if I ask someone of you to cook good food, and you are not like to cook, what will do? You will simply not cook that food. But someone who really like to feed other by cooking, okay, that person will very happily will accept the project and cook the good food. In the same way, just replace food with the software and you will get the answer. So you require to have the project chartering, or what you can say, what project chartering means, what you have done today, what you have done till date, or whether whatever you have done is good or not. And likewise, that is called as chartering, or is called as day to day closing accounts. Banking people know this closing accounts. So that is what called as industrial extreme programming. It is stage driven management in IXP. Then retrospectives are there. Retrospectives means industrial XP always go for analyzing these things. Okay, chapter 15 from Roger Pressman book. If you'll go through retrospectives, you will get detail on this. Okay, and continuous learning is the one thing that is very very important in software engineering, or even in the life, and in XP programming also. Because once you stop learning, means as soon as you start to feel that you are very intelligent, means if say suppose if I won't prepare for the subject, it is very difficult to talk for 1 hour. Yesterday also told that is to deliver a 1 hour lecture, it's require almost 8 hours preparation. We require to go through the details of the books, we require to go through the what's happening right now, and also have to consider what type of examples we require to give, and likewise, and those examples need to be very clear and concise. So continuous learning is happening. So right now I am just not teaching, I am learning from myself also and from yourself also. Okay, so continuous learning is there. Members of these XP teams required to encourage, possibly incented, to learn new methods, techniques, and that can lead. And when you want to learn anything in a good way, for example, right now, if someone of you is a very verse in a Latin, your Python, okay, it will be really good that if you people conduct your own study circle and have a video chat for this Python, what we call as special interest group, SIG. If you form that, then this continuous learning will happen and you will become more skillful in that particular language. So what are the critics? Whatever you do, there will always be critics. So it says that XP critics says that is requirements volatility is there, conflicting customers needs may cause the project to fail, requirements are exposed informally, lack of formal design, and so many time the critics actually say that XP won't work. Theoretically they are very correct, practically XP works very well in all industry scenario. So other agile process model, this is again out of syllabus, or what we call as beyond syllabus part of portion of the first unit, the adaptive software development. Then you are having Scrum, then you are having dynamic system development method, Crystal, feature drive development method, lean software development thing, agile modeling is there, agile unified process. We already have seen the rational unified process. That process itself called as agile process when agility principles are used. Okay, so what is Scrum? So this is a simple thing. Whenever you are running a product, every day the Scrum, you have seen these players on the football ground. Before starting a play, the team comes together and they talk for a pep talk for a few minutes, and then they start playing. That is called as a Scrum. And in software engineering development also, every day early in the morning, when team members comes to software development, they gather together, they create the sprint backlog, what they have done, what is required, and those backlogs are put together, expanded, and in a 30 days tenure, for every 24 hours they take the 15 minutes daily meeting. So this is a simple Scrum process which is generally used in sports and adapted in software engineering. For detail, this is not in your syllabus. In last slide it says it is in syllabus, but that was syllabus of old era, sorry, thing, but Scrum is now is used in many software units. So it forms the sprints, and each the team actually develop the different type of sprints every day. So these are consistent with Agile Manifesto, and it actually goes for requirement, analyze, design, evaluation, and delivery. So every framework activity work test occurs within process pattern of the sprint, and more than one sprint may require to complete the scrum. So it is actually effective for projects with a very tight timelines. That means you have to deliver something within a week, within a day, like that. Then the scrum agile process development is used, and it actually handles tight timelines, very rapidly changing requirements, and business criticality. Okay, so Scrum process patterns, they require first you are required to consider what are the remaining work. Okay, so at initially it is zero and make them something. Backlog should have to be completed. For every backlog, you require to create the sprints, or this consist of work units, small units of, or the modules are called as sprints here. And then you have to go for the Scrum meetings, generally 15 minutes. Okay, we already have developed. So what did you did since the last team meeting? हमने लास्ट लेक्चर्स में क्या किया था वो बताना स्टार्ट को. Then we will go for this, then obstacle that you are going to encountering. What do you plan to accomplish by the next team meeting, and what are the demos? Those are the Scrum protest pattern. Now clean room software engineering, the last part of today's lecture. Okay, is the formal method which uses mathematics and something. And in first lecture itself I told that it uses it's actually require too much time and something. So clean room software engineering is not for the industrial software development, but it is for the research software development, generally used by the scientists. It is pipeline. Many time it's clean room software engineering go with a waterfall model, basic waterfall model. And likewise, so this is a clean room software engineering, you are having all those thing. Okay, so this is not in your syllabus, this is your the beyond syllabus portions. So if you see this, you can go through the presentation, or you can go through the book of Roger Pressman or Ian Somerville for more detail on clean room software engineering. So its incremental planning is there, requirements gathering, box structure specification, formal design, correctness verification, code generation, statistical test planning, use test, and certification. So uh, lecture is completed. If you are having any questions, queries, you can ask in the question and answer. And if you are not having any questions or queries, you can say uh, like that. Okay. So if there are no questions, can I close the session? If here yes, at least raise one hand. Hello. Okay. Thank you. So I am ending the session. Thank you for attending the lecture.